But that shot comes up under pressure. If he makes it, he makes it.
Payton to inbound. Bryant for three.
Situation, they got confused. They switched. Bryant was able to catch that ball cleanly. Theo Ratliff comes running out. It's a good shot.
No way this will be overturned. And the Lakers have won the Pacific Division title.
And so the displays of brilliance went on, as the Lakers made their push to close the season and matched up with the Houston Rockets for the first round. Things were finally going a little smoother than earlier. Kobe had a subpar first couple games outside of a 36-point game and victory in Game 2. The Lakers took a 3-1 lead. But Kobe showed up to Game 5 looking exhausted after he had spent most of the previous 3 days in court. He said, "When I get on the basketball court, something just energizes me."
Kobe Bryant arrived here less than an hour ago, and Gary Payton coming off his best playoff game in a Laker uniform. Mobley skates off the baseline and around Kobe Bryant.
Well, Mobley didn't settle for a long jumper. He went in attack mode right at Kobe, seeing what the effects of the plane travel might have on him.
3 with a foul. And a good move by Kobe Bryant inside.
It's a nice finish by Bryant. There's some contact down low. Bryant, you see him take it, he makes the attack to the rim, goes up for the hang time against Cato. Cato hits him down low, but he still has the presence.
Going into tonight's game, the Los Angeles Lakers weren't sure when Kobe Bryant would be returning from his pre-trial hearings in Eagle, Colorado. He had missed Laker practices on Monday and Tuesday, but flew back to California each night. This is the third time this season that Kobe has tried to commute from Colorado to California to Staples Center. And they say it's 2.5 hours from court to court. He arrived, he missed his first 3, but he's hit his last 2.
Well, he's taking the last couple to the basket. A real tough finish there over Cato, and then makes a tough jumper over Coutinho Mobley.
Points in the paint about the same. Fast break points about the same in this game. What a pass! Karl Malone to Kobe Bryant.
That was a great pass. I saw it. I thought he was going to throw it up top to Kobe because he had a free run to the rim.
Lakers have hit 7 of their last 8 after starting 4-14. Now they've hit 8. Lakers got 2 of the older players in this game. Jackson at 39, Karl Malone at 40. Another Rocket turnover. They now have 8 and the other way. It goes to Kobe Bryant. Rockets led by 3 points at the end of the first quarter. The numbers on Kobe Bryant, who was off to Colorado in a pre-dawn charter jet flight and left Colorado about 4:07 Pacific time. Arrived in the arena at about half hour or so before the tip-off, and here he is with a dynamite start in an elimination game with the Lakers up 3 games to 1.
The first half was close, but the third quarter was when the game was put away, as LA outscored Houston 25-9. Kobe finished with 31 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists, and 3 steals. Later, Karl Malone said, "A lot of people will remember 31 points, but I'll remember that he's been doing a lot of traveling in a short period of time. You put that ball in his hand and he's ready to play, and that's what it's all about." The Lakers advanced in 5 and prepared to face the Spurs in the second round. The San Antonio Spurs hadn't lost a single game in 6 weeks. Before they truly appreciated the obstacle in front of them, the Lakers were down 2-0, and it looked like it might end up a repeat of the previous year. Tony Parker was too fast, and the Lakers were struggling to match the intensity.
The Spurs won the first 2 games in San Antonio, each by 10 points. Lakers bouncing back with that convincing victory here on Sunday. Now the scene at 5:19 Pacific Coast time this afternoon when Kobe Bryant arrived here at Staples, making it back from his pre-trial hearing in Eagle, Colorado, and he is in the starting lineup.
After winning Game 3 behind 28 points and 15 rebounds from Shaq and 22 points and 6 assists from Kobe, the Lakers were at home for Game 4. With Kobe in Colorado that day, Phil Jackson said he wasn't worried.
Welcome back to LA, where the Spurs have a 17-13 lead. Kobe Bryant spent most of the day traveling from LA back to Colorado to that courthouse and then back to LA, where he is facing the Chargers and expected to enter the plea bargain. He got up shortly before 4 o'clock in the morning, left at 4:45, and arrived at the courthouse in Eagle County, Colorado at 8:10. As the day grew on and the anticipation became evident that he was going to enter a plea, what a contrast. Kobe Bryant leaving a courthouse in Colorado, entering a plea of not guilty, facing felony charges of sexual assault, then arriving in a golf cart at Staples Center to take a basketball court center stage before a full Staples Arena and a nationally televised audience in a playoff game.
Here comes Bryant. Ball in his back. Malone providing the screen, and Kobe slams it. Beautifully done as Karl Malone set it up for Kobe Bryant. The Spurs will talk it over.
Kobe showed up a few hours before tip-off and dropped 42 points, including 14 in the fourth quarter. He had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block with 0 turnovers. He played almost 45 minutes that game. In the next game, he played 47, sitting for 1 minute in the fourth quarter.
Pick and roll with Kobe and Karl Malone.
Malone coming out. He sets it. Kobe gets around it. Kobe puts it up. Made it. Bryant is just beat.
He is. I mean,
totally.
He looks exhausted right now.
But it's all catching up with him. He did make that last shot. We have 11 and a half to go, and then all of a sudden, time to get back up. Kobe has played 47 minutes.
That's the reason. He's tired.
After Duncan hit this insane fall-away jumper over 2 defenders, Derek Fisher returned with the game-winning shot.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
Well, you know, it's almost like Tim Duncan is giving the Lakers what Kobe has given the Spurs. You couldn't have defended that any better. Timeout Spurs, good timeout too. They caught it late enough that it allowed the Spurs to kind of see what the Lakers want to do. I can tell you what they're going to do now. They're going to Kobe Bryant.
And Gary Payton will take a timeout. So they've come out in 2 different sets. That's the last timeout.
So what they're doing is like in football, Al, they're spying Kobe Bryant. Robert Horry is just chasing wherever Kobe Bryant is going. They're going to deny him the catch. Listen, they've seen those Portland highlights. They're not going to allow Kobe Bryant to catch the ball. Great move by Greg Popovich.
Here they go. They get it to Fisher. He scores! Derek Fisher scores at the buzzer!
Phil Jackson congratulated the team in the locker room and said that after he left to meet with the press, Kobe hyperventilated and collapsed with his eyes starting to roll back. He was given an IV and laid on the training table, and everything was okay shortly afterward. Phil said that despite not having his greatest night, Kobe hung in there and hit a big shot down the stretch. The kid was remarkable. The Lakers ultimately finished the series in 6, winning 4 straight to knock off the defending champs.
The Minnesota Timberwolves hoping to bounce back against the Los Angeles Lakers. The T-Wolves seeking to tie the series at 2. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Alvin, along with Bizarre, Mike Fratello, Doug Collins. As Ernie mentioned just a moment ago, Kobe Bryant is in the building. He made it back here to Staples about 1 hour ago from his pretrial hearing in Eagle, Colorado, and Kobe will be in the starting lineup.
Well, Marv, this is the 5th time this season that Kobe has made the trip from the courtroom to the playing court here at Staples, and it seems like he's one-upped himself every time. The game-winning shot against Denver in December, he follows that up in March with a terrific performance against Sacramento, and then in the playoffs we saw it in Game 5, the elimination game against Houston. He was magnificent with 31 points and 10 assists, and then arguably his greatest playoff game of all time, Game 4 against San Antonio, 42 points, 15 of 27 field goals.
Kobe
Kobe Bryant's ability to play on a basketball court the same day as appearing in sexual assault court has been a mystery to many. I talked to several team doctors today, and what I concluded and what learning from them is, one, he has the mental capacity to departmentalize. That means focus on the task at hand without being distracted. And secondly, physically, his brain has been able to tell his adrenal glands to provide this hormone whenever he needs that extra surge of energy. It's a combination we often see in firefighters, also policemen, and our armed forces.
The Western Conference Finals were against the Minnesota Timberwolves, starring peak Kevin Garnett, who had just won MVP that year.
Bryant at the post. The tip is missed. Malone came up short. Malone again. It counts. And the foul.
That was all created by the double team on Kobe Bryant. When you double team, you really get into a zone on the weak side of the basketball. And you're going to see right over as Madsen comes over to help out. Nobody there to block off Karl Malone. He misses the first shot and then just out-muscles Wally Szczerbiak.
Game is tied at 30. Garnett spinning his way and slams it down. Malone felt that he was fouled.
Having gotten to the Western Conference Finals after 7 straight first-round exits, they had been an inexperienced team. But they added Latrell Sprewell and Sam Cassell.
And that go Gollum.
We got Shrek and Gollum here.
Ain't nobody calling you Fat Albert. Ain't nobody calling you that, so leave him alone.
Who brought veteran leadership to one of the game's most intense franchise players ever in KG. The Lakers would get blown out in Game 2 by 18, but never fell behind in the series. Kobe showed up for Game 4 after yet another hearing in Colorado. He was a playmaker for the first half and then scored 22 points in the second, putting pressure on the Wolves and the officials by constantly attacking and getting to the free throw line.
Minnesota has a foul to get right now if they're going to take one. There is a foul. Will it count? No. Basket will not count. He does not get the continuation.
This would be the 5th and final game that year where Kobe appeared in-game right after being in court and outplayed whoever was in front of him. He finished with 31 this game, and the Lakers won the series in 6, finding themselves in the finals again.
Drill it from downtown. Lakers now lead by 7.
Minnesota came out, they played zone, the Lakers swung the ball, and Sam Cassell really was the closest guy to make that push over to that area, but he didn't. Szczerbiak tried to come out, couldn't get there in time.
Lakers plus 17 rebounding now. How are they even within 7? They're shooting under 39% and being out-rebounded by 17.
Oh, it counts and the foul! A sensational shot on the reverse by Kobe Bryant.
Look, there aren't too many times you see Karl Malone and Shaquille O'Neal walk over and give somebody a high five. That one deserved it right there. Both big men come right over to him. Both of them acknowledge the fact that that was some shot.
And this is a great timeout by Flip Saunders. This crowd is finally in the game. You've got to use your timeouts to control the surges in the crowd on the road.
It was a very quiet crowd this past Tuesday night, in contrast to what we heard during the San Antonio series, where it was deafening, and for the first time tonight, as you mentioned, the crowd is into it.
Kobe just trying to make something happen.
Well, Tuesday night in Game 3, Kobe did not score in the first half, 0 for 2 from the field, and turned it in the second half. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Bryant, yes. Well, Kobe is feeling it, taking it from Garnett.
Well, the Lakers are starting to play that screen where he's been coming out all night long to catch it on the jump shot. That time he sets him up and goes right on the back door and gets the layup.
Reach and foul on Sprewell.
Yeah, I said, come on, Flip. I said, come on, Flip. It's time for us to go to bed.
All right, here is Bryant. Yes, and it counts. So Kobe Bryant will head back to the line.
We all know now that the season ended with a disastrous loss to the Detroit Pistons, who were hungrier, less selfish, and more disciplined than the Lakers, who had expected it to be an easy final series after consistently dismantling Eastern Conference teams for the past 4 years. After losing in 5 games, in which Kobe and Shaq were the only players to average more than 7 points per game, the Lakers found themselves dismantled. Over the course of this season, dealing with his trial and his rocky relationship with his wife Vanessa, Kobe's state of mind was always unknown. But what no one can deny is that, as Karl Malone had pointed out, when Kobe was put in the game, he was going to deliver no matter what. If he was joining a game late without getting a chance to warm up, he was finishing it off with a well-defended game winner. When he didn't know where he was going to sleep that night, he was outscoring the Orlando Magic by himself in the fourth quarter to send the game to overtime, while also shutting down the only other player in the league with an offense comparable to Kobe's. When he was told he might miss 4 weeks due to his sprained right shoulder, he was working on his left hand the next day and then showing his new skills while blowing out the Kings 3 weeks later. When it was time for the playoffs, Kobe had 3 separate games against 3 separate Western Conference opponents coming straight from court, in which he averaged 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 51% in those games. I should also mention that in 2004, the Spurs, Rockets, and Wolves ranked 1st, 5th, and 6th in defense. As Phil Jackson said, how Kobe was able to compartmentalize with everything going on off the court was beyond him. Maybe Kobe was right. Basketball energized him, and despite being exhausted and frustrated on many of those nights, he found some way to put everything else aside for 4 quarters, playing as though it truly was his last chance.
Minnesota offensively just so seemingly out of sync tonight. And the Laker defense a big part of that. We have 61 points. Kobe Bryant. 33. The Lakers tonight against Minnesota.
Fabulous execution. The footwork so reminiscent of Michael Jordan, of Hakeem Olajuwon, of Larry Bird.
The game, this was going to happen. Rarely will they catch fire and stay on fire for 48.
Kobe Bryant. Taylor lost it. Kobe in transition. He took a shot on his right elbow. His left elbow is the one that's been bothering him. Kobe. Oh, how did he hit it? I thought Kato was holding him around the waist.
Kobe Bryant's 18 points, a game high. 16 from Jimmy Jackson, the rocket high. Here comes Shaq in foul trouble with 4, approaching 7 to play. Kobe Bryant.
We have seen 9 shot attempts.
Well, Shaq is just playing back in the lane. He's going to give Mr. that shot.
Bryant spinning his way.